Right, so today we're going to lay up the timbers for the third bay of the front wall, which is this area here, and we need to set out the primary timbers first so we can get them all jointed together and the measurements correct before we then lay on the secondary timbers, which are the studs and the braces and the window sills. So what we're looking at today is setting out the sole plate along here, which in this instance is one continuous piece because there's a doorway at each end. We've got the mid rail here, which we need to joint into the primary bay posts here and here, and the wall plate, and you can see that the bay post here is located at the end of the wall plate that has already been framed in bay 2, and we've got a new piece which connects onto the scarf joint here, which runs through bay 3 and into bay 4. So once we've got those three pieces in their right position, we can then set out the bay posts, and we can start to level them all and get all the joints accurate and connected up so that we get our correct measurements of 3.6 metres from the middle of this post here to the middle of this post here, using the lines that we've already put on the timbers as our reference points. Right, so having looked at the plans, we now see the timbers in real life, and here we've got the sole plate with our line marked on it to give us a reference line, and we've got the two jowl posts which we're using for bay 3 here, which is the one that's already been framed in as part of bay 2, and the other one is our new dowel post here. We've got our mid rail, which is lined across here, and we've got our long run of wall plate running from bay 2 through bay 3 and then into bay 4, yet to be framed here. And this has also got the line on it, which we're using as a reference line. So our task is to set these primary timbers into the frame and get all the measurements accurate, which involves putting them on trestles and levelling everything up as we do that. So we've got an assortment of different trestles and blocks, which we're hoping to be able to use to level it all up. So we've now started to put this bay 3 section together. We've got the sole plate onto the bottoms of the dowel posts at both ends, and the posts are located in the wall plate at the tops, and we've started to measure between our lines which we've put on the timbers. We've got our dimensions and we know what these need to end up. We have levelled all the timbers with our levelling marks, spirit level and levelling marks, and we've wedges in order to create a perfectly level plane through here. And now that we've measured, we've found that we are 6 mil over length here. So we're able to scribe off the face of this timber with our new shoulder marks, which we've done at both ends. So the next task is to take this apart again and recut these shoulders to the correct positions, so that there'll be a nice tight fit on our sole plate. So we've got our primary timbers for the bay 3 set out now and all jointed together and measuring correctly. So the next job is to lay all the common studs on this frame so that we can start to scribe them in and cut the joints for them, which is what we're going to do next.
And I understand some of the original studs are going in here?
Yes, we're putting old studs in at this end because that's pretty much where they came out of in the original building, so they're going back in more or less the same place.
And these are those studs in their original position with the wattle and daub in between.
About 15 mil longer on this side more than we were on there. So it does want to do what we say. So I'll try hitting on that corner. We got So we've now set this section of the frame up so that it's all nice and square and level with the studs in it, and we've positioned the timber here, which is going to be our windowsill, in the correct place so that we can now scribe down to map the contours of the stud onto the shoulder of the windowsill. And as you can see from here, there's quite a difference. We're using the spirit level to give us a straight edge, and that tells us that the spirit level is in contact with the stud at the top, so we can mark that same point on the sill where the sill is going to be sitting, like that, and we can estimate what the distance there is, which is probably about looking on for 5/8 or nearly 3/4 of an inch. So we have to estimate that out this way. Like that, and maybe even a little bit more. So then if we connect those 2 points, that's what we're going to have to cut as our shoulder for our stud. And similarly, we can work out where the stud is mortise stops by using the spirit level. With that on there, it tells me it's almost upright, that place. So it'll be okay to mark the top of our there. Do the same down this side to mark the bottom of the mortise. And I can do the same scribing on the underneath here, get the other side of the shoulder done. Stop that bit.
So this is one of the original studs that has been shortened a bit, but is going back in the west elevation of the longhouse in the same sort of place as it was found.